Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
giving me a couple of minutes to talk about this thought-provoking film that ignites all kinds of conversations. So let me start with you, Ms. Portman. You never cease to surprise and to amaze audiences, and and judging from these stellar performances, you seem to push each other in service of the story, of the narrative. So how were those conversations between takes to achieve what the text and Todd demands from the characters?
Well, it was amazing. I mean, it was just my dream to work with Julie. She's an actress I've admired my entire career and have looked up to so much. And it was so exciting to get to watch her work and to work opposite her and then also to get to copy her, because like that's kind of what I want to do anyway. And then that's what my character was doing. So it was thrilling, and it just felt really safe because she's such an incredible human. Also, we really were able to play. And then the amazing thing of like when you try something, she tries something back, and like you just feel like you're creating something beautiful together. That's so exciting.
Both characters are very, very complex. So Ms. Moore, in Gracie's mind, she thinks that all her actions were right.
Yeah.
She lived all her life by the notion of everything she did was right, for the right reasons.
Yeah.
So how was to manage that Highwire balance between that notion and the fact that maybe the audience perception of a mentally unstable person?
Well, it's interesting because, you know, Gracie believes that she and Joe have a great love story, that they met when he was very young, and that it didn't matter because he was her soulmate, that they saw each other and they built this life together. And, you know, to her credit, they spent 20 years together and they have these 3 children, and they seem to be happy. They appear to have a successful union, you know, to all outside appearances. But obviously, an adult who has a relationship, a sexual relationship with a child, that's a different, you know, that's something that's transgressive, right? And illegal in most cultures, in most countries. So she's telling this story, you know, she has this refusal to kind of look at what's actually happened, and is sort of enmeshed in this narrative that she tells. And what's interesting is that she needs Elizabeth to give her that approval, that approbation. You know, it's like she needs everyone to hold that story up, because it's so hard, I think, for her to hold up by herself.
Also, Elizabeth is a very, very complex character. We can start seeing we can start peeling layer by layer throughout the whole film. I was blown away by some sequences. For example, when she's with the student. Also, the pet shop visit were awesome sequences where you can start seeing the real Elizabeth. So how was it like to get into the emotional state of that character as an actress playing an actress?
Well, it was really fun to get to play her because she's so surprising.
Exactly.
And I think that it was like a gift when I read Sammy's script that she's so wild, and it's unexpected because she doesn't start, like she starts as someone you're like, oh, she seems like one of us, like normal, you know, and then like that's kind of the most fun. And I think that it's all part of this thing where she doesn't really think that there are boundaries, that like one of those people whose kind of mantra is that like art is just exploring behavior and anything's allowed, you know. And I think that it shows how dangerous that can be, even though, I mean, I think a lot of us ascribe to that at a certain level, but then there are lines.
Thank you for that. This is your 5th collaboration with with the director, with Todd. How would you compare the first time you worked with him to this film? Because you both have grown so much.
It's a lot, and it's many, many years. I mean, I think the big surprise working with Todd right from the very beginning was that we had a shared sensibility. And I couldn't, you know, the same thing on Safe. We had no time. We made it for, $1 million. And yeah, it was just we could barely talk to each other. We're just kind of moving. But I think that sensibility has grown. You know, we just feel connected as collaborators, and I always feel so grateful for his vision, because honestly, I feel like he communicates his vision to me from in his scripts and in his framing and in his construction, and it just makes me feel more free and more so the longer that I work with him.
Excellent. Thank you so much. My time is up again. Congratulations. Such a wonderful film. And I have a 9-year-old daughter. I know I have to go, but when I told her I was going to talk to Natalie Portman, I mentioned Queen Amidala. I mentioned the Marvel movies. And she was like, oh, okay. But when I said that you were the owner of the Angel City soccer team, she was like, oh my God, that is so cool. She's a soccer player and probably an entrepreneur.
So
thank you.
awesome.
Thank you for that,
That's
all
so
right?
cool. Thank
And again,
you.
congratulations.